Good morning. Today is Saturday, September 14th, and for breakfast we're having homemade pancakes. Okay? For this recipe you'll need, and I'm using self-rising flour, you use 1.5 cup self-rising flour, 3 tablespoons of white sugar. I'll stir these two items together. I use a whisk. And they're fully incorporated. You're going to make a well in the center. There you're going to add 1 egg beaten, 1 cup of milk, and I use 2% milk, and just about 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla, and whisk. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Okay, I did have to add, I had forgotten to put you also add 3 tablespoons of melted butter. I had forgot to add that, so I just added that, and this is the final consistency. Okay, um, now I'm not using my grill today to fry these pancakes. I'm using a skillet, and when I fry, I actually use canola oil. Today I'm using Wesson, Crisco, whatever is on sale. Okay, hold one moment, and I'm gonna fry one and show you the finished product. I messed up. Now in my home, I don't fry with a lot of canola oil, so this is about all I have. Just enough basically to coat the bottom of the pan. It may be a little too much. But what we do is we don't stack our pancakes. I just make one large one or medium or whatever size I'm going to use. I would only use one. And I also use, depending on the size, for large I use a cup of batter, medium probably 3/4, small half. So, but here we go. See how large that is? And I don't like mine too thick. And I also like it crispy around those edges. Here's what these sausages are beginning to look like. They're just about done. Again, like I said, you start off with a cold skillet and they actually come out better. You don't have that sticking. And these are really good. As I said, I got these from Sam's. I think you get 30 for like $6.22. And what's good about them is as you cook them, they don't shrink. Again, this is something that we don't eat every day. Normally just on the weekends I prepare breakfast for my family. Also, these sausages are real good. Pillsbury has some biscuits they sell at Sam's. I think it's like 24. They're on a tray pack. And they're really good also. You just take them out and bake them on 375 for like 7 minutes. What I do, I buy the 24 and then I freeze them in freezer bags. And I'll use them during the week for my son's breakfast. Okay, let's check on the pancake. You'll see when it's ready to turn because you'll start getting those bubbles. But as I told you, I like mine crispy around the edges, and it's just not ready yet. But you have to be careful because I don't want it burned either. So because it's so big in the pot, it may be just about ready to turn. And since I'm holding the camera, I won't be able to do it in record. So hold 1 minute and let me just flip this over. It wasn't a perfect flip, was it? See that around the edges, but it's still good. They're really good. Normally, I'll use all-purpose flour, but this time I bought self-rising because there was a recipe I had to try and it called for self-rising flour. Self-rising actually takes a shorter length of time to prepare because with the all-purpose flour, I think it's a cup and a half of flour. Then you have to use 3.5 teaspoons of baking soda, and then you use a teaspoon of salt. and then the rest of the recipe is just like like it was. Only thing, remember, you have to melt that 3 tablespoons of butter, but don't let that butter get hot. I put mine in my microwave for about 30 seconds. It wasn't completely melted. I had to actually take the part that was softened and mix it up to get the melted the melted effect of it. But it was softened. So if you can get it softened, that's good. But the liquid is actually better because it helps to, just to thin out the final recipe of the pancake mix. But this is really good pancake mix. I actually don't even buy the boxed anymore. Now, I know it's convenient, but I only fix breakfast really on the weekends. During the week, my son may actually come in, he's 13, and do him one sausage and one biscuit. Now, my mother loves these, and she was the one that told me about them, but what she does is she places her biscuit in the microwave, and she said it's just as good, but it's very convenient. And you think about it, for $6.22, you're getting 30 sausages. And I think for almost $6 now, they were 4, but I think 5 something now for those 24 biscuits. And you got at least 24 sausage and biscuits with 6 sausages left over to fix with pancakes one day, like I'm doing here today. So that's a good economical way to feed your kids breakfast if you have to feed them breakfast in the morning, because breakfast is $1 at school, I think, for my son. So by the time I get him there, because I have to drop him off, the bell is usually ringing. So we have breakfast at home. Well, he does. I actually eat at work. Hold one moment. Okay, here's the final product on that pancake. It's actually thicker than I normally fix them, but that's okay. I'm sure it's going to taste good. He's not going to complain. Okay, our sausages are done. And hold one moment to show you how they came out. Remember, those are at Sam's. They're 30 pack for $6.22. I don't know how much they are in your area, but here where I'm located, they're $6.22, and it's 30. And you can put them on. How I fix them is I put them in a cold skillet. I place my stove top on the number 3, and I let them actually cook while I'm getting ready for work or whatever. And if you're going to do those biscuits, all you do is place them in the oven, set your timer for 7 minutes if they're at room temperature. And if you've frozen them and you're going to put them directly into the oven, I normally bake them about 12 minutes and turn the oven off and let them stay in there, and they're actually perfect when I come to get them out. So, but you got to do those 12 minutes and turn it off, because one morning I forgot and they were so hard we couldn't eat them for breakfast. So don't make that mistake. Well, our sausage are done. What I do when they're finished, I place them on a paper towel to absorb that grease, and I'll also put them in a paper towel and squeeze them down to get that grease out. They're actually good. I like the meat. I don't like the grease. Okay, so that's it with the sausage. Okay, here's the finished product. We have 1 large pancake, 2 sausages. This is breakfast. Today is Saturday, September the 14th, 2013. Enjoy your day. Be blessed.